Welcome back to Indie Hunter. My name is Vicedets, and here on this series, I review indie games. Dicey Dungeons is a cute little game I'd had recommended to me in my Steam queue for a while, and then I bought it and played the hell out of it. It was recently released on the Switch, which caught my attention. I didn't buy it again, I rarely do that for games, but I did go back to playing it. After about 50 hours, I realized it's been a while since I uploaded, so here's a review. Dicey Dungeons is the story of 5 people who go into a game show unaware of the horrors that the sadistic host, Lady Luck, has in wait for them. These contestants arrive at the Dicey Dungeons hoping to win a brand new car, but instead are forcibly transformed into dice people and trapped within the dungeon. Every time these contestants complete the trials of the Dicey Dungeon, they get another spin of the wheel for that brand new car and their freedom, but for some reason, that pesky wheel never seems to let them go. Dicey Dungeon has 5 characters, each of their own class, plus a few secret characters, and they all play differently. The warrior is the most straightforward out of all of them, and I'm using unedited footage of a warrior run as the video for this review, as he's the most basic class and a great way to visually demonstrate the mechanics of this game to somebody who's never played. You start off at level 1, and every round you roll a 6-sided die plus another die for every level you have. You gain levels by fighting monsters, but it's not like a tabletop RPG where you declare, I roll to attack, and then deal damage based off of whatever you roll. In Dicey Dungeons, you roll your dice first and then decide what you want to use them on. For example, if I have 2 pieces of equipment, let's say a sword and a shield, and then I roll 3 and a 4, I can decide to use the 4 on my sword to deal 4 damage and then put that 3 on the shield to gain 3 armor, or vice versa. Some skills can only be used with certain types of die, like even or odd numbers, or dice that can only read 4 or under. Some equipment require 2 dice to be used to deal extra damage, but can't be used without 2 dice. Some equipment raise or lower the value of dice, or they combine 2 small dice into 1 big one, or they split them, or duplicate them, or consume them this round to give you 2 the next round. Some of the mechanics are a little clever and can work in your favor. Trying to split a die results in creating 2 dice equal to the sum of the first, but you can actually split a die that reads 1 into 2 dice that read 1. If you try and bump a die to raise the value from 6 to 7, it actually just gives you back that 6 die plus an additional 1 die. There's lots of ways to manipulate and break the game. As I mentioned before, there are 5 main characters, plus a few secret ones, and they operate differently. The thief can borrow a random ability from an enemy each round, which you can use on your own, and that can lead to some fun mechanics with using enemy-only abilities, such as stealing equipment from the alchemist that turns into a bear for the rest of your run. The engineer destroys some of his equipment each round to create skills that can be activated for free and then just get replaced at the end of the next battle. The witch has a grimoire of spells she can learn and upgrade. The robot has a system almost like blackjack where he rolls a die 1 at a time, and then if he reaches a certain threshold he short circuits and has to end his turn. Even after you beat the run with each character, the game's still not over. It gives you a variety of other modes you can play as, such as hard mode, the alternate universe mode where the items work differently, and a bonus mode where you get a new passive effect after each floor. Just about all of them are negative, but some of them work against the enemy too. Dicey Dungeons has a lot of replayability, not just in its alternate modes, but also in its massive amount of challenges you can try for. There's an enormous amount of challenges and trophies you can earn, and thankfully you can see them all and don't have to be lucky enough to just stumble upon them by chance. The aesthetics of Dicey Dungeons are great. The visuals are cute and they're charming with soft colors, unique designs. All the enemies feel very individual and they never feel like they're just recolors like in a lot of RPGs. You never feel like you're fighting the same monster twice. The designs and the art style are all consistent and they remind me of something like a children's book or even one of those shows that kind of appear to be aimed at kids but they're actually aimed at adults. Shows like Adventure Time or a regular show. As far as the audio goes, it's okay. It works. It's fine. It's good background music, but none of the music is actually memorable. You'll never find yourself humming it as you're just going about your day. But it's fine. It works. Overall, the game is solid. My rule for video games and whether or not they're worth it is if I've spent an hour playing for every dollar I spent on it, and I'm currently at 46 hours and counting. The game has a lot of replayability and the mechanics are just so unique that I want to keep going back over and over again, try out new character combinations, new item combinations, and find the best way to clear the Dicey Dungeons. I recommend this game.